Hi everyone, and thanks again for joining me with another video. Sorry it's been a little while since I've posted a new video, but I have got something a bit new and a bit different for you today. I was sent this subscription box by the Crafter's Box. They're a company based in America, and every month they bring out a new box of materials that are focused on one particular craft. So every month is a different craft. So, and there's a big variety of things that they've done in the past. You know, there's been indigo dyeing, wooden spoon carving, macrame. I think there was like candle making and things like this. So this month's one is actually a lino printing kit, which was really, really exciting. And every month that they send out a kit, the kit contains everything that you need to create the particular project that they're focusing on, including instructional videos from an expert. So as I said, this kit is all about lino printing, and the teacher is Afton Shan, who is Rise and Wander on Instagram. And she creates beautiful, simple lino prints. And so she's been the expert that's been brought in to teach you how to use this kit. The Crafter's Box sent me this kit to review, and I've received a few other kits in the past, and I've found that the quality of their products is always really high. There is also always at least one or two items in the kit that you can use more than once. So if you enjoy the process and you want to have more than one go, then you can. So for example, this kit, you receive a custom designed lino cutting tool, a brayer, a bamboo baron, a plate to apply ink. So all of these things can be used over and over again. Even once you've done this one printing block that's included in the kit, you can purchase other printing blocks and keep going with the tools. And I found this is the same with a lot of the kits. Like the other kit that I had, I've received a kit on a travel journal. So I received like a full set of Winsor & Newton watercolours in that kit, and a beautiful painting brush and a travel journal. So I was able to use those paints even now. So even though I filled out that journal and it's all been used up, I've still got the paints to use. I received another kit that was, what did I receive? Oh, that's right. It was actually another watercolour based kit. It was about painting tropical leaves. And that contained some tubes of watercolour and some brushes and actually a really big pack of really beautiful paper. And so I was, again, able to use those paints over and over again, even once I'd finished with the actual kit that I was given. So they always give you something that has a lot of value and that you can use over and over again. Even if you don't particularly find what you've done, good or interesting, you can always end up using the tools to make something else. So, so this was a lino printing kit. And I do have a bit of experience with lino cutting and printing, but it's been at least 18 years since I did it. I did a diploma of visual art, and that included a whole module on printmaking. So I have some experience, but it's been a while. So the video that was provided with this kit by Afton was really, really helpful. I looked over it and I watched through it, and that really helped refresh me as to what I was doing. Because lino printing is very, very different, obviously, to what my normal process of creating art is. While some of the techniques are similar, lino printing requires a lot of concentration on negative and positive sort of compositions. So because you've only got, in this particular case, I'm only using black ink. So it's very much light and dark. So the paper becomes your lights, the ink becomes your dark, and you need to make sure that there's a bit of a balance there. And so your composition has to include plenty of lights and darks. So in that regard, it's similar to the way I paint. I do paint with a lot of negative space in my artwork. So I kind of knew how to manipulate that. But the particular technique of creating this, lino print is totally different to what I normally do. So, you can see here I'm actually just drawing straight onto the lino print with a Sharpie. I did slightly sketch out a rough guide before I drew it, but I just basically freehanded it on there. There are ways, and Aflin goes through in her tutorial video how to actually transfer your design onto the lino block if you don't want to freehand it, but I just freehanded it. And then, once I'd done that, I started carving away, and this process took a little bit longer than I expected. I think all up, even though this block is only, I think it's 6 inches by 8 inches, it took me nearly 5 hours to carve it. because the lino was really hard, and it also took me a little while to work out that if I warmed it up with a hairdryer, I could carve it a lot easier. I didn't work that out until the next day. So yeah, so here you go. You can see that I brought the hairdryer out after doing a bit of research and realised that if I warmed it up, I could carve it heaps quicker. So I did get through it a bit quicker in the second day that I was working on it. But it was also about this point here that I realised I'd probably put in way too much detail in my particular, fashion. I should have kept the forms a lot more simple. I think I was also trying to fit a lot of information into quite a small lino block. So I think in hindsight, I probably should have kept the design a little bit more simple, a little bit less pattern. Because, you can't really see in the picture here, but there's dots and patterns in the trees, there's fine details. And those fine details didn't really show up very much when I went to print it. So it was kind of a bit of a waste of time. I shouldn't have really bothered doing them. I should have just kept the patterns bold and simple instead of fine detailed. But hey, that's part of the learning process, That's, next time I do it, I now know to not go quite so heavy on the detail. I think that's a lot of the reason as to why it took me a while to carve it out as well, because there was a lot of pattern in there. So this is when I first inked it up. So again, I already knew from the tutorial video that I'd watched that this first print wouldn't really work very well because the lino does absorb a lot of ink to start with. So I wasn't expecting this first print to work, but you'll see in a minute. I'm also using the paper that I'm using at the moment isn't actually the paper that came in the kit. This is just drawing cartridge paper that I used because I didn't want to waste the pretty paper on the very first print in case it looked horrible. So I'm just using basic paper that I had in my studio. But if you want to make sure that your print is centered in the paper, you can see how there's a sheet underneath my block that's the same size as the sheet of paper that I'm using to print on. That's called, I think the one underneath is called a registration piece of paper. And so if you line the piece of paper on top up with the piece of paper on the bottom, then it's going to roughly be positioned where you want it to be positioned. So that's why I've done that. And I've never used one of these tools before either. I think this is the Bremner tool, and this is what you use to sort of smooth over the paper and help rub the ink in. And I feel like that will take a little bit of practice to get that to work too. But so you can see that first print is quite patchy and wishy-washy. I kind of expected that. I knew that would happen, so I wasn't too panicked or stressed when I saw that, and I'm just inking it up again. I think there's also a lot of technique involved in working out how much ink to use. I don't think in hindsight I was using enough ink. I think that I still probably need, but then you could go, I do know that if you put too much ink on, then you lose the detail that's in your print. So there's a bit of a balance and a bit of practice that has to happen there. So this is the next print. I think this print works a little bit better than the first one. But look, I'm actually really interested in doing more of these. I think I'm going to get a slightly bigger printing block, or lino block, I should say, next time, so that I can fit a bit more detail in on a bigger space. And get some more practice in regards to getting a nice clean print. And I know that like this technique of actually rubbing the back of the paper, you're never going to get, I don't think, as reliable results as you would putting it through a printing press. At the printing press, you can set it to the same pressure. So every single time you roll that print through, it will have the same pressure all over it and it will come out even. Whereas this technique here, as you can see, even I didn't carve out enough of that background in the top of that tree, and so it's shown up on the print because I pushed a little bit too hard up there. So I did actually eventually go back and carve that out a little bit more so that would stop happening. But the first couple prints I did, there was a bit of those marks up the top. But so if I was going through a printing press, the results would be a little bit more even. But then again, I don't really mind the patchy handmade kind of feeling that this technique gives you. I think this is a switch over because the kit contains a few different papers as well. So this is like sort of almost like a craft paper. It has a very, very beautiful fine texture on it, which doesn't really show up in the video, but it's a different texture to the other paper. So I wasn't really sure how it would work. And I think, again, this first one that I do comes out a little bit patchy. The next one that I do works out a bit better, but it's a bit of trial and error. And I also worked out that I was worried while I was carving it, I kept slipping with the lino cutting tool and sort of grazing the top of the lino every now and then, and it would leave like little scratches, and I was a bit like, oh God, that's going to show through and that's going to ruin the print. I shouldn't have worried because they didn't really show through. It was most of the fine scratches and things that were on the lino just got absorbed by the ink. So, which is the other reason why I feel like I went a little bit too crazy on the detail. Most of that detail doesn't show up. I think I actually zoomed the camera in a second so you can see a little bit closer. But yeah, the fine detail that I did put into the block was kind of a bit pointless, and I shouldn't have really worried too much about the lines and the scratches that I was creating by accident. Because my hand, after using the lino tool, my hand was actually really sore because I get like a bit of tendonitis in my thumb already. And the lino cutting process didn't really help that, especially before I realised that you can warm up the lino and it would make it easier. That was a bit of a rookie mistake. But once I worked that out, I did get through it a bit quicker. But these things are, it's practice. That's all it is. So I think this second print that I do with this paper works a lot better. I was a bit disappointed with that first one. I think this one, I added a lot more. I didn't add anywhere near enough ink. That was the problem. So this one, I added heaps more ink, and I think it works a lot better. So I'm recording the audio after I have filmed this, obviously, which is why I know what's going to happen next. So getting the pressure right, getting the amount of ink right, getting the amount of details right, that's something that takes practice. But the box and the kit and everything that was in it, all the products that were provided were really easy to use and really good quality, and I was really happy with the results, considering it's the first one that I've done in quite some time. And I feel like the instructional video was really, really informative, and if you have never done this before, you would definitely learn enough from the video to at least have a go, and the rest of it's just practice. So I think this one comes out quite good. I was quite happy with this one. Trying really hard not to ruin it as I peel it. So that one came out quite nice. I think it's always going to be a little bit patchy, but So, my tips off the bat would be keep your design a lot more simple than mine. You can see now that I've zoomed in a bit closer, you can actually see a lot more of the detail that I tried to squeeze into this very tiny little lino block. And look, some of it does show up, but it doesn't really show up as well as what I was expecting it to do and how I pictured it in my head, but that's okay. So keep it simple. Warm up the lino block with a hairdryer while you're carving it, and that will make the process of carving a heck of a lot easier. The really good thing with the crafters box as well is there is a community, so you can actually go on and chat to people and other people that have done it. There's tags on Instagram, so you can search the May Crafters box, which is what this one is, on Instagram, and you can see what other people have done, what designs they've made, and any comments that they've got on it. And so there's a way to sort of have a bit of a research and look around at what other people are doing as well. And the boxes, a few days before each box comes out, they do let you know what the subject for that month is going to be. So if it's something that, if you're not automatically subscribed, so you can just buy one-off boxes. You don't have to subscribe and commit to purchasing every single month. Once you've, signed up, they will send you out information about what's going to be in the next box, and you can decide whether it's something that you might be interested in or not. So that's a really good thing as well. You're not locked into definitely getting every single box. And you can sort of pick and choose, because there have been some that I haven't been interested in and then some that I have been interested in. So that'll probably be the same for you guys as well. But anyway, yeah, that was my little print, and I had a really good time doing that, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. I will put all of the links and information regarding the Crafter's Box, Rise and Wander, and all the things that I've mentioned in the comments. So if you're interested in looking into it further, you can chase it up, and I will see you again next time.